धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः
ओम सहना भवतु सहनं भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनाधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Let us sit down and study together. Through discussion, let us sharpen each other's intellect. May we not bear any ill will to each other. Peace, peace, peace. Let peace prevail. Om Shanti.
Yeah, Amitabh, we are halfway there, 10th chapter. And
It's like the exam time. We have finished half of the textbook, and then we started getting very happy. But we don't know how. By the time we reach the end, we forget the first half.
yeah, that's true as well. But I think one of the questions that we had in our mind, and also Raghavendra, who does the editing, used to say, "Will you guys persist?" So halfway there, and
Well, it reminds us for our anatomy section. You wanted to quit, but we had to get you
we
through.
did the whole summer, right?
Yes, yes.
So, but that's good that we are able to do that. But it has been a great learning experience as well, apart from sharing. So this is one I think not only we are sharing with other people, and but also we are growing. The Gita is growing on us in a way.
We are learning the concepts as we said in the beginning, that it's not a scholarly discussion. It's the concept learning from each chapter and ultimately putting it all together and how it reflects in our life. That's
the main part, the very practical thing. Because
right.
even after big discussions, Krishna always gives Arjuna homework, and kind of homework to us as well. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So coming to the 10th chapter, I mean, as you said earlier, that it is kind of culminating towards the peak of, that's the 11th chapter. So 8 to 10 is a kind of preparation. 8, he talks about, the whole creation and death and what happens after you die, or, how this all comes together. Ninth, he talks about transcendence, transcendental knowledge. He talks about immanence. And then he talks about how he gets intimate with the people who surrender to him or who come close to him. And it's like 10th, in the beginning, he's kind of, it seems like repetition, but it's not repetition. So I think the 10th beginning is beautiful.
First of all, the name of the chapter really struck me. It is Vibhuti Yoga.
Yeah.
And so what is Vibhuti?
Yeah.
Vibhuti is Hindu worshipping rituals. A fire is lit, the firewood are put on, and there are a lot of offerings, symbolic offerings made. And when at the end of the worshipping ceremony, when the ashes are left of the firewood, that ash is put on the forehead, and yes. And basically, what does it signify? It signifies that we offer ourselves. As a matter of fact, previously it was mentioned that every worship is offering.
Yeah.
So we offer our ego desire complex, everything, burn it in the fire of knowledge, and then the knowledge we acquire and the ashes that are left off all the materials, we wear that on our.
So yeah, go ahead, continue with your Vibhuti description, Amitabh.
So what in the Hindu rituals, with the worshipping ceremony, very often a fire woods are lit, and
Yeah.
the offerings of butter or whatever it is put in there. Okay, and then at the end of the whole worshipping ceremony, and when the fire is all gone, only ashes are left.
Yeah.
That's got a very symbolic meaning.
Yeah.
Symbolic meaning is that in that fire of offering, we give up all our ego desire complex.
Yeah.
And when we do that, then we come to know what that transcendental energy or the life energy of the universe is. And that's where we become nitya yuktam or shatata yuktam, all the time being in union.
Mhm.
So it's a knowledge that leads us to surrender.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And we wear that as a symbol like ashes, but in reality, in our mind, we have given up the ego desire complex to be in union all the time through all our actions and in our life.
Mhm.
So that's what Vibhuti is. So
Yeah.
with that knowledge of Vibhuti, let's carry on and you can put your thoughts now.
Yeah, no, perfectly right, Amitav. That is vibhuti which we put on the forehead. As you said, the ashes that burn or agarbatti, once it is done. And it has been, sometimes it seems like just a ritual, but there is the significance that you explained. So that is one vibhuti. The other vibhuti is also something like elegant. That also is so in any place there is some important places, and the importance may be bhavana, or importance may be the essence. That also is, I think some of that meaning also comes when Krishna starts describing the vibhutis or divine, how does it manifest. So in the past he has been talking about immanence and I am all pervading, but how do you see that? So he is now bringing Arjun to the bottom line that yes, God, you're surrounded by all divine, you're surrounded by God. And that is, seeing the vibhuti. And I was thinking about it, when he says in the mountains, I'm Sumeru, or, or, you know, or Himalaya, he does pick out some, Sumeru has its own um, value, that it may be the cosmic axis, or Himalaya is vast and eminent. But I was thinking just, I just came back from India, as you know, and one of the places we went is Meghalaya. So when you tell somebody, I went to Meghalaya, it's like I'm all pervading. They will say, where did you go? So you pick out some important places. You say, we went to Shillong and we went to Cherrapunji. So few places, and when we went to those places, the taxi driver will take us to certain places that are known for tourists. So in a way, when Krishna says that I'm Sumeru in Parvat, or it doesn't mean that he's not in Khasi Hills or the mountains in America. He's everywhere, but he picks out those eminent names. That's my take on it, because why does he? It's not discrimination. It's just it's like in animals, I'm lion, and and we will come to that. But before we get there, the first few verses of 10th chapter are very revealing to me. I mean, he says that my utpatti, my origin, even the gods don't understand or don't know, because I don't reveal it to them. I mean, 2 and 3 is about his personal, origin, Krishna's origin, or divine origin. Even I mean, forget about mankind, even those who are above and who have some connection there, even they don't understand. And then the fourth and fifth, is the one that you were saying you valued.
His existence,
Yeah.
or as the universal life energy,
Yeah.
okay, or Brahman, Krishna is the metaphor here.
Yeah.
So his origin, his nobody is beyond everybody's imagination,
Understanding.
imagination or understanding,
Yeah.
and he includes the demigods as well as the sages and everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
so they even do not know where he came from, how he functions. Okay, and then later on he goes on to say that when you come to know about it, that's when you start surrendering yourself, or you understand everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so that step is very, very important, because this knowledge, these sages or the demigod did not acquire by themselves. If he is graceful enough, he imparts this knowledge into it.
Yeah, I do want to come to that because that is a very key, I think, concept that I came to see here, at least in the first, part where Krishna describes his kind of nature. But he also says that Shama, Satyam, Dhamma, Shama, all these emotions and bhav, they also originate from him. So it's not like we think that, okay, I am angry and anger is mine, or I forgive you or I pardon you. All these emotions and pieces come from divine. I mean, so the divine force or Krishna's force is also the origin of all the bhav.
That's a very, very important point, because
Yeah,
before uh, in prior chapters,
yeah,
it was mentioned he is from him comes the animate and inanimate objects.
yeah.
Now he talks about even the thoughts and emotions.
That's the thing. That's
That
what caught my attention here, that bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva prithagvidha. So, yeah, so it's not inanimate, animate, living, non-living, but now he's also coming to this.
the
It,
psychological, emotional part of it, it is
yeah,
all imparted by him.
yeah,
Okay, so that's a very, very important point.
and then he talks about Manu. I mean, um, and Madbhava, Manasa Jata. I mean, yes, sub. I mean, all these, people or rishis or anybody is coming from his. He is the source of all of them.
That is the bottom line that he talks about.
Yeah.
Everything that we see in this physical world,
Hmm.
or whatever our ancestry is, whatever our thought process or emotions are,
Yeah.
whatever inanimate, animate objects are, the source of everything is that universal life energy.
And then he comes to what he, evam vibhutim yogam cha. So vikampena yogena. Somebody who knows me, this part of me that I am the source of everything. That is the person, like who is coming close to me. Now he is talking about the relationship. How does the divine build a relationship? Or how do you come to know divine? There is a reciprocal relationship here between devotee and divine.
Actually, yes, one can say that, and that knowledge comes from. Remember, we talked about
Yeah,
the reversible chemical reaction with half arrows going on two different
yeah,
directions. Okay,
right. Yeah,
I talked about that. It reminded me of chemistry reactions.
yeah.
Okay, so the soul within us, or a devotee, is always in communication with that. I mean, unforeseen or transcendental energy. So, this relationship, once we understand this relationship, and that's what is Nitya Yuktam, okay? Satata yuktam. That's where it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So all these previous chapter, he is priming him with the knowledge and self-knowledge and this relationship, and then he takes him to show him how and explain to him how everything emanates from him, and then in the chapter next we'll see how he reveals himself.
Yeah. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the source of everything.
Yes.
Mattah sarva pavartate. Iti matva bhajante maham buddha bhava samanvita. So, yeah, I mean, somebody who understands this and then remembers me, then bhaj, then he is coming to me, then he is becoming devotee. Not just like a blind, I mean, he's not talking about blind faith at all. Even in bhakti,
Yes, remember I did talk about it many times, how bhakti can be easily diverted into blind faith
I know you,
unless it is tempered by knowledge.
right,
So once this knowledge is there, as Krishna imparted on Arjuna, now Arjuna can see how things happen. Okay, he confesses here. Now I understand how things are. So this knowledge makes the devotion even stronger.
right. That's what iti matva bhajante mam. So knowing this kind of, one who understands this nature and then bhajo. And then he said, matchita matgata prana,
Yeah.
pran samarpit, chit samarpit, bodhiyanta parasparam. And so now, giving almost everything to him, leaving everything to Krishna. And that's when he says, Tesham satat yukta nam. That's what you are saying. Satat yukta. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Then I give them the buddhi, right?
So this one is very important verse to me, at least it appeared to me.
Yeah,
The thing about it, remember, I often talked about this Atman Brahman relationship. Once we
yeah,
know the soul within us
yeah,
is a reflection or a little fraction from that universal life energy,
yeah,
we then understand our name, our physical form. These are all transient, but only what is permanent is that soul within us and that transcendental energy or the universal life energy. And the relationship is always there. And so we strengthen that relationship with Shatata Yuktam.
yeah.
Okay. Once we have that, then the whole problem of our doer identity or our ego desire identity is all gone. Or automatically becomes samarpitam, or you are surrendering by itself.
So I think in Buddhism, there is this concept that you can go so far in meditation or something. And then they have this, after you have gone there, they call it sotopan, which is, like a stream of river. So once you jump into the river, the stream takes over. So in a way, Krishna is saying the same thing here, similar thing here, that once you come so far with bhakti and that knowledge, that you understand that the depth of my, living a life, or it's like consciousness, and you come to me, then I give you that, dadami buddhi yogam tam. It's interesting that, now I take over. It's like you've come this far. Now it's my job to. And the beautiful word, is the 11th verse, which I really love, which said, Jnana Deepena Bhashvata. It's like Gyan ka Deepak, is shining inside you. And that's what really makes you realize. So, remember after the last ninth chapter discussion, you sent me notes about this blind bhakti. So blind bhakti is definitely out. It's clear that, Krishna is not talking about blind bhakti. But even when what you know and you go with bhakti, then this Gyan Deepena Bhashyata is like Appo Deepo Bhava, Buddhism says, right? Buddha said. So Krishna says, I will help you, learn about your Gyan Deep.
You see, it really, I feel funny that if he wanted, actually, in the first part of chapter second, he does tell him about the heaven and hell and all those things. What if he doesn't do heaven? If he does, he'll get to
Right.
heaven. If he doesn't do it, what people will say
Different
and what
levels of,
will go to
yeah.
hell and all those things.
Mhm.
Now, you might have noticed that's on the superficial level, and he didn't dwell upon that for a long period, one or two verses. Then
Yeah.
he goes straight down all the chapters, enlightening Arjun little by little, as you say, guided meditation,
Yeah.
and through that, making Arjun understand who he is, what is his role in this world, how the world functions, and then if Arjun understands his inner self or self-realization,
Here's what I found.
who am I? Then, of course, he becomes the greatest devotee, and through service, he reflects it. That's it.
Yeah. So this Krishna is said these 11 verses in 10th chapter. Um, and it's so funny that you mentioned that Arjun, he's taking him through the guided meditation, and it becomes very clear, when Arjun speaks this time, it's a totally different Arjun.
That's right.
It's a Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashwatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. Now suddenly he's saying Paramam Brahma Param. So now he's showing that I get it.
That's right. That's right. So now he got the concept right. Okay.
Yeah.
In this verse, he admits now he has gotten the concept of all the teachings that he has given. And now
Yes.
he tells me, show me then who you are and how you are expressed in this entire world.
Right, right. Basically, that's what it is. I mean, in several slokas, I mean, he talks about how great Krishna is. Now he understands. He gets the level where Krishna is. Before that, Hey Krishna, Hey Madhav, Hey Sakheti. I mean, it comes later as well. But he was his Sakha or he was his Sarthi. But he knew there was something more because that's why he picked him against the Narayani Sena.
Yes,
But I don't think Arjun understood in the beginning, what the depth of Krishna is.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. This is the first time he confesses
yeah,
that you are it, I understand it.
yeah,
Okay? And Vibhu is the word which means you are everywhere.
yeah,
Okay. So he understands that it is the transcendental energy or the Brahman who is everything.
yeah.
It is Avyakta Akshara. It
So
is,
now it is coming from Gyan. Now he
yes,
knows.
exactly. Exactly.
Swayameva Vetha Tvam Purushottama. Now he is Purushottam.
Yes,
Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha Deva Deva Jagatpate. I mean, this is like, it's coming, like music is coming from him.
that's right.
He
Now he's not taking the taking the notation. He is now singing.
yeah, he's seeing that. Yeah.
He's he's not following notation. He has understood all these things. Now he is singing.
And now he's asking Krishna, vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana. Can you tell me about your vibhuti? And this is where I love this part, that it's like in the beginning it was theoretical knowledge that God is all pervading, I am in everything, I created everything. And now he goes and enumerates all these different expressions.
Yeah, he describes himself or his being
Yeah.
as the superlative of in everything. Okay, and so much so he tells him among the gamblers he also the best.
Yes.
One
And
of the person.
in that description also, I mean, there is a lot of descriptions. It's like,
Yeah.
but
Basically,
he
they
starts from that unseen.
that's
He
right.
said, "Aham Atma Guda Kesa." I'm the Atma in everybody.
That's right.
That's where he starts, right?
Yes.
And then he starts, I'm also the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Yes.
So is present all through. And then he comes to, it's like Aditya, Aditi ke 12 putro mein, all
Yes.
these, gods he comes to. So after the consciousness or Atma, he comes down to describing Devatas, and he is Vishnu in that. And
Yes.
then,
Basically, in that narration, all that he mentions
yeah,
that he is present in all cosmological objects, inanimate object, and even this human world where there are different kind of people, he expresses himself in different ways.
and in different forces.
That's right.
So I will walk through quickly.
Yes.
So then he talks about, it's like Vedanam Sama Vedosmi. And Samved is more poetic. I'm said it's more musical. And then Indriyanam Manashasmi. And then he goes to Indriyo mein man. Man chanchala hi mana Krishna. Bhutanam asmi chetana. Or praniyo mein, I'm the life energy. Then he goes again, Rudranam Shankarashasmi. And Om Akshar, in that, again, he goes to planets, Brihaspati, he is the Brihaspati, and Mahishi Nam Bhrigu Rishi, so he picks out all these, iconic figures in everything.
Basically, he picks up these superlatives and everything
Yeah,
which he manifested.
right. And he talks about the Shastra again, and then Kamdhenu, um, and talks about Sheshnag and Varun Devata, Ganga, Nadi mein Ganga. Yeah, he talks even in Daityo mein, Prahalad, so, and in the wind force, Pawan, and Ram, I mean, he mentions that he's Ram as well, Purush. Um, and then he comes down to even Pandav make Arjun.
Yes, that was a striking one because he
Yeah.
thinks he thinks that Arjuna has got that knowledge, so he's now best.
So,
He doesn't talk about Yudhishthira.
so it's
Dharmdas.
like he's, he goes on to all these descriptions, but the last verse is just amazing. After he describes all that, which is, Arjun's question, he fulfills, gives all these answers, he's, as you said, superlative, or, it's like he's the peak in everything. And then he said that these are just a short summary, but it's a long summary, for many of us. And he picks up very important points, in each of them. each of them has, like Tej mein Surya. I mean, sun is really, a shiny planet, and then he comes down to moon as well, and moon is Sheetal, which is the kind of gentle. So he's the fire. He's this, is all extremes and all kind of important things we can think of. Is he's an expression there. But then he says, "Athva bahunaitena kim gyatena tavarjuna." Why do you want to know? Why do you need to know? I mean, that is the climax. Because then he says, Ekanshena sthito jagat. This is, I hold all this with one kind of, it's like 1% of my existence is doing all this. Ekanshena, ek ansh.
Yep.
So he is so vast that the universe, the vast universe we see, looks small in front of him.
The way I looked at this verse, that
Yeah.
he says that only a minuscule part of mine,
Right.
okay, is expressed in this universe. So he talks about his vastness, okay, and though Arjun has got this knowledge, okay, it is still a lot more beyond it. So
Yeah.
Arjun, whatever you learned, you practice now. Okay, what's the point in knowing every and part of me and totally me when in this universe only a minuscule part of my is expressed?
Yeah. That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
You remember, I think we both have seen that, and many people have seen that video where it starts from a dot, like we are a dot, and then it expands in the universe, and it makes us feel like we are so small. And when Krishna talks about this, it seems like the whole universe is like a dot for him. It's like, as you said, the one minuscule part of his energy or consciousness is the cause of the whole universe.
Yes.
And it's not a question of believing it. He's still telling Arjun not to have blind faith in it. He wants Arjun to understand and experience that.
That's right.
And that is why I think, when I started, I said, this is the beginning, sorry, this is a preparation to the 11th chapter, because that's where, here it is Vibhuti, there he is expressing something even bigger. So I think this ekanshena sthito jagat, ekansh, that minuscule part, this is, I think the concluding verse of 10 is amazing. Uh, After a long enumeration of divine manifestations, beings, forces, forms, he ends up saying, rather than knowing all these details, understand me. Understand this fundamental truth that the entire universe is supposed to be just a fragment of my being.
That's right.
And it's like how the infinite expresses through finite.
That's right. That's the important point.
Yeah.
Okay. The
How
infinite.
does the infinite manifest through finite?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
no, that's a good
That's
point.
And that's how Brahman is manifested in Atman. It's just a spark from Brahman that's within us, and which we have to awaken ourselves with self-knowledge, devotion, and then materialize it through service and action.
Yeah. And that one is, how does the unmanifest manifest through us? We can see that, the
Yes.
consciousness or the Atman, but the body is the expression, right? Manifest. You can see the body. In the same way, how, it's like here, all these vibhutis are kind of finite, but is still an expression of the infinite.
That's right. Two things. One thing comes in mind again. One of my favorite verse from, I think it's fourth or fifth chapter.
Yeah.
Brahmarpanam Brahma Habir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam
Yeah, we did that long time ago.
Brahmebhatena Gantabhyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. Whatever action we are doing in the name of sacrifice, every little ingredients and every little action is nothing but Brahman, and we are offering it to Brahman.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So basically, that's a vast inclusion.
Yeah.
And we are a part of that world order to establish and hold on to it, and that is dharma.
Yeah. But the last verse also kind of, makes me feel like Krishna is saying, simplicity is better than complexity. I mean,
Of course.
understanding each vibhuti, you will be lost. Just know me. It's
I
like,
mean, the point is, again, you love to give example of surgery. You
yeah,
read all the books, but
yeah,
now that you have to do the surgery, how you do it, most important.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, faith and surrender is kind of is the prerequisite. Arjun shows that he's got it. And then Krishna reveals his vibhutis, but the essence is that, it's like, just know me.
That's
See
right.
Krishna in everything. And
That's right. And this is called, many people call it the third eye or the inner vision.
yeah,
Okay. Self-realization to realization of the entire world and the beauty of the absolute.
yeah,
So once we understand that our doer image goes away and agent of the deed comes in mind, and then our ego desire complex is all burned, we are nitya yuktam, or always being in union. And that is yoga, being in union. That's all.
that word nitya yuktam, but here the word satata yuktam,
Okay.
kind of similar. Yeah, similar. But,
Satata is all the time, nitya is all the time.
yeah,
So anyway,
but
it's a
yeah. Kim gyatena tav Arjuna, Kim. It's like,
I like to talk in your surgical terms. Okay,
yeah,
if you know how to do the operation, how many alphabet
don't
you have,
have to know the whole book, right?
no, not the whole book. You don't have to depend upon your alphabet under behind your name either. How you do it.
Those alphabets, yeah, takes a lot of effort to get those alphabets.
Yes,
So you
and
try
that's
to hang on to it,
yes.
Yeah.
But
But that doesn't help you in surgery. You're right.
Mamaka Pandavas